Peace. Kofa, Grow Talk Entertainment. Wake your glass up. What's going on, y'all? Thank y'all for being in here. Happy Tuesday. Today is June 10th, 2025. The time is now 7:30 p.m. That is in the lovely city of Atlanta, Georgia. That is Eastern Standard Time. This is Grow Talk Entertainment, where growth stands for gentlemen reaching our wealth through healing. And this is where we help men find a positive fuck it. Once again, I'm your humble host, Kofa, K-O-F-A, not coffee, not kufu, not Kofi, or any variation thereof. Kofa rhymes with sofa, easy to say, easy to spell, aka your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Let's go ahead and get this general housekeeping out of the way. Thank everybody for being in here. You see the Cash App, you see the PayPal on the screen. If you don't want to financially donate to the channel, that's cool. You've been in these YouTube streets long enough. You know how to use Cash App and PayPal as well. But what you will do is take your shoes off when you come in my house. Hit the like button. The like button is free.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
So for those who've been around a while, make sure everybody hit that like button. While we get to that, and before I get to y'all comments, I'm going to go ahead and hit y'all with Randy.
Lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful, give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely. And,
back on me. Now let's get to the comments. I believe Brother Malika was in the building first tonight, and he was, but wait a minute. He says, peace to Death Reaper. Maybe Death Reaper stopped in. Maybe the comment went away. It took me too long to bring it up. But peace to you, Death Reaper, if you're circling black, good brother. Brother Malika in here, as always, he says peace and love to Kofa in the chat. Good day, sir.
Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man.
Sister Almond Eyes in the building as always.
You go, girl.
What's going on? Brother BT, always supporting. He says, new intro. Who this?
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
Will Stumbling says, peace, bro, from Boston. Salute to you, good brother. Salute to the Celtics. All due respect, but y'all know I'm a Knicks fan. But salute to Beantown. Appreciate you being in here as well. Moving Silence back in the building. He says, salute to Kofa and the chat. BT, thank you for noticing the new intro. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all liked it. Just want to know if you're feeling the beat. What I chopped up just to throw in there. Just want to do something a little bit different. So let me know how y'all feeling the new intro. I'll switch it up if need be. But thank you all for being in here. Let me see, everybody. BT says, happy early Father's Day to Kofa and the chat. Yes, salute to you, good brothers. I appreciate that.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Bring that down, bring it back up real quick. So while I got y'all attention, Brother BT has also started a subsidiary of G.R.O.W.T.H Traditions. I think I told y'all before. It's called Wins and Lessons, excuse me. Force a habit. Wins and lessons. There are no losses. There's only lessons in life. So salute to BT. I was actually his first interview for Wins and Lessons, but he wanted to drop it on Father's Day because of my story with my son Crown. Salute to him. He wanted to drop it on Father's Day. So that episode of Wins and Lessons with Brother Broken Traditions, aka LeBron, aka Real Rap Ron, aka Kennesaw Kobe.
Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man.
Shout out to you, Ron. Appreciate you having me on as the first guest. I know it was kind of rough. Thelonious, thank you, good brother. I'll get to you in a second. Your super chat in a second. I know it was kind of rough here and there when we were figuring it out. Again, doing what we do, building the plane as we fly. But it was an honor to be on Wins and Lessons and be your actual first guest to sit down with you, your first recording. So I'm looking forward to this Sunday's episode. Drop what time it's going to drop on Broker Traditions here on YouTube and anywhere else you're going to put it. Y'all make sure y'all also go to Broker Traditions. I believe it's brokertraditions.com. So salute to my brother Ron for having me on, brother. I can't wait. I think it's dropping at 2 p.m. on Sunday, but you let us know in the chat, good brother. I appreciate you, BT. Thelonious in the building with the 5 spot. I'm going to go ahead and hit you with it. Thelonious says, working, listening, and supporting black male media.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
We're going to go ahead and get to cooking tonight. Know we got a small audience. Shouldn't be on here for long. These videos I have are real short, but it's part of the conversation that we have ongoing in the black community that I wanted to keep putting out, that I wanted to keep talking about. And people ask me, Kofa, why do you talk about black women every day? What's your issue with black women? I was talking with somebody today who's known me for a while. You know, we worked together for a good while. And she was like, I always known you to be so quiet. And then I watched one of your shows. And then I was talking to my other homegirl. Salute to Morgan. She's getting ready to move to Thailand. Salute to her. It was a pleasure supporting you. Pleasure being your friend. Godspeed on your travels. We'll get back to that later on. But she's getting ready to move. And we were just talking. And she was like, you know what? I got to tell you, I really don't like podcast you.
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
So of course, in true Kofa fashion, why not? I don't know. I just don't know you like that. You know, to be like that in person, we always had these great conversations. And I also told her the same thing. Same thing I told Chris Trucker. So I've had it from a male friend, had it from a homegirl. I have to be more engaging when I'm here with y'all. But I'm listening to your stories. I'm sharing some of y'all's stories. I'm sharing my stories. And these clips are just a means to do it. We've gotten into facts, data, statistics before. We've gotten into different examples where it's a celebrity, whether it's the average Joe, whatever the case may be. We've talked about real shit on here. So yeah, I do get passionate on here. And yes, I have to make it entertaining. Again, Growth Talk Entertainment. This is info, education, entertainment. Info, edutainment, as I like to call it. So we're going to share some thoughts, get into some emotions of it, because again, I love talking about real shit. Y'all know I don't like liars. Y'all know some of my pet peeves. I've shared them here. But I was talking with old girl today and giving her the same synopsis that I can't just come on here and just be, oh, okay, I understand. And y'all have seen me in that space as well. Now, one-on-one, and BT can attest to this, we can go back and forth and debate, have conversations, and that's more of a one-on-one thing. But when I'm here, it's not just a shuck and jive type of entertainment. It's genuinely because I'm passionate about these topics. Like some of these clips y'all see, some of I played in the past, it's pissed y'all off in the chat.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
So I say all that to say what we're going to get into this topic tonight. Stealing from Messing with Sean, salute to her.
You go, girl!
These good mamas. We suffer at the hands of a lot of toxic behavior, thought processes, verbal abuse, even physical abuse, as you'll see, from a lot of our mothers in the black community. And it is not talked about enough. We protect women in our community despite these popular tropes and traits of the misters and, you know, so abusive, and we prefer white women, and we leaving to go overseas to third world countries because we hate black women. Not true, not true, not true. However, a lot of brothers are waking up and starting to tell their stories for one reason or another. And these men are well into their 40s, 50s and such, as you're getting ready to see. And we're going to see the foundational point of where this stuff starts is where, as far as when we think it's okay. And our favorite phrase in the black community, that's still your mama though. No. Ain't no excuses for a lot of the stuff that we see that takes place in our community and nobody says anything. From inside of the church to inside of the home to out in the streets to in these relationships. We see women abusing their kids and we call it discipline. But because daddy put some bass in his voice, now he's abusive. Let me get to y'all comments real quick and then we're going to get to cooking. BT back at it. He says 2 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. That's when the episode is dropping. BT, do you have a special title for it? Drop that as well. But my episode on wins and lessons will be at 2 p.m., dropping at 2 p.m. Eastern this Sunday on Father's Day. Appreciate that, BT. Let's go ahead and get to a little bit of psychology with it so we can build the foundation and get up to what we see and what we have normalized in our community.
Would be the fact that many women who are over caring for their children try to keep them back from life. It begins by being anxious. Don't do that, it's dangerous. Don't do that, it's dangerous. Don't go to play out with the boys. You could fall and wound, or you get hit over the head. And by trying to keep the children too much in their clutches, and then we speak of devouring mothers. And such mothers also have trouble when their sons and daughters begin to date girls or boys. They say, I'm very much wishing that you married, and I'm very glad, but that girl you bring home now.
We're going to pause it right there. I'm going to touch on this real quick. Start listening for these type of words and phrases from women. And I'm talking mainly to the guys. I know we always preach about not being stepdads on this channel. Take it on the chin. Some of y'all in the chat are. You know why I'm saying it. Y'all see what's going on out here as well. But start paying attention to these words and how these women interact with their children. Start paying attention to how your family members interact with their children. They'll say things in a nice way. And yes, that includes mamas when I say, beware the sweet bitch.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Well, I don't know. You might want to think about that. It is a lot of times it comes off as love, but it is a manipulation tactic. My baby mama used to do it. The power of suggestion. Because now you're thinking about it, especially as a man, well, damn, you know, she's a woman. Maybe she knows what she talk about dealing with this woman as far as dating. Or maybe, you know, she's older than me. She's been there before. It could be your mother. It can be your sister. But again, that constant hovering and having to insert themselves in whatever you have going on in life, especially as a man. We'll get to that in a second, and I'm going to point out some things, but I had to stop it right there. Beware that tone of voice. Beware those little seeds that mothers plant to start adjusting your mind and get them walking in that path. This is why you see so many men online pushing back against the red pill, pushing back against the passport bros, saying, oh, they're lame, they're goofy, they can't get women. You know, they grew up without a father, when a lot of those guys grew up without fathers. So they act, think, and speak like women, not in a gay way, not even in a feminine way. A lot of them are built strong and all that good shit. But their mind, you know, my Kofa-isms, they be thinking with their bitch brain. They listen with their bitch ears. Because they're going to regurgitate the same shit that women have been saying ad nauseum, never holding the women accountable for their choices or the damage they've done in the community by way of the children that eventually become adults. I'm going to let her finish off.
No, that is not the right girl for you. Or that's not the right boy for you. So they keep the children in their clutches, but that is only the foreground of a woman who has exaggerated her maternal protective qualities. There is also an archetype.
This is the archetype. I'm gonna read it on the screen. This is the archetype of the devouring mother. Anxiety disguised as love. Let me bring it back. And some of these things we've heard from our mothers, like people always ask, well, why do men do this? Well, why do y'all do that? Why do y'all think like that? Why do y'all sign that? This shit started in childhood. Remember what I told y'all before, a lot of these so-called players and pickup artist coaches and things like that, a lot of us as men, period, we've learned how to adjust and move around women. We've had to learn women because we're raised by women. So I got to keep my mama happy so I don't get my ass beat. I got to keep my grandma happy. I might get that pound cake. I might get to go outside and play a little bit longer. Different things like that. You start learning these manipulation tactics on your own as a man as well as you're growing up. So you've already practiced on your family members growing up as a young man. Then you tend to take that shit out into the world. Plus, a lot of these women, they don't see it as abuse, but they say, ain't nobody handsome as my son. This, that, and the third. This is the son-husband trope that we spoke about ad nauseum for the last few years in this space. But nobody talks about it truly in the form of abuse. We'll get to that a little bit later. But we heard from the older German lady. Now we're going to hear from Sister Shay Sade.
You go, girl!
And she did a good job of bringing this to modern terms and really breaking it down from that view. So I want to use this clip too. Then we're going to get into... That's my daughter. Speaking of parenting. But I'll get back to her in a second. She don't want shit but money. Anywho, salute to my baby.
You go, girl!
But let's get into Shay Sade. She does a good job of breaking it down in modern terms and the way that we see things day to day in the Black community, and how, again, we just don't hold women accountable.
One of the things that I don't think has really been explored in the Black community is the impact.
I know the video's kind of low. I got up as high as I can go, but, you know, strain your ears for about 2 minutes.
Of toxic mothers. We're very familiar with the narrative of the hyper domineering, like Mr. aggressive, manipulative, evil Black man who is just out here just beating women. Like, we're all very familiar with that toxic expression of Black masculinity, but there has not been a lot of conversation on how toxicity can show up in Black women. What's the impact of a toxic mother? What's the impact of a toxic grandmother? What's the impact of Black women who have been mistreating their sons and daughters? We don't talk about that. But the thing about it is, you got Black women out here today who are struggling with their self-esteem, with their sense of self-worth, with their identity. They are struggling because of their mommy wounds. They don't feel loved. They don't feel lovable. They don't feel like they have a sense of identity. They don't feel like they have worth because the...
Pause it right there. That sense of identity, we see it on repeat with our sisters a lot of times. Brothers, I implore you, again, my son's mother has always talked pretty bad about her mom. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. I wasn't realizing she was actually telling me who she was. Because again, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Start looking out for these behaviors. Where she just said where a lot of people struggle with identities, it's a fact. So she becomes a carbon copy of who the hell she came from. Who do you think they learn from? This is why I harp on women so much. Because again, you teach a man, you teach an individual. You teach a girl or a boy or a woman, you're teaching a nation, because those are going to be the mothers. They're going to have access to the children first. That's who is going to raise them in our society. I don't know why people struggle with this correlation and call it hate, but you see the impact of it all the time. Have y'all ever sat down and actually spoken with an adult Black woman, I'll say 25 and up, and she had these horror stories about her mother, or there was always some type of friction between her and her mother? A lot of times she's struggling with her identity to not be the worst parts of her mother, but it's so ingrained in her from childhood, again, as we'll see.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid!
Wrong button.
But wait, it gets worse!
As we're getting ready to see how it starts out as a foundational piece. Let me slide over to y'all comments real quick. Heard somebody else came in. Chelonius, speaking of Shay Sade, says she's a very attractive woman to me and talks with sense. Indeed. Emperor says, Big Bro Kofa was good. Salute to you. Appreciate you being in here. Moving Silent says, I dated a white girl just like that. Hated her mama. Moving Silent says, it ain't hate. You're just bit. I don't know. It might be a typo. Don't know what that is. Said it's not hate. You're just busting. I don't know. But we see this all the time where it forms a foundation in the children, and it can be the men as well. Again, you'll see it. It builds a foundation in the male, and then he starts identifying like, damn, I don't want to take out my anger, this harbored anger on my mother, because I can't take it out on her because she's my mother, but I also don't want to take it in the world. And you see these bigger guys where they're just very fucking soft. We'll get to it in a second.
But wait, it gets worse!
I'm gonna let Shay finish cooking, but I had to stop it right there because that struggle with identity, whereas 1 minute she's the sweetest chick in the world, and then she's the fucking dragon lady. Unfortunately, they tend to pass that on. They always preaching about I got a another video I'm gonna do on the phrases black women have created in this red pills in this dating space. But they're always talking about breaking generational curses. And a lot of times all they doing is passing the fucking baton. But I'm gonna let Shay finish cooking.
Others in their life, yes, the black mothers in their life terrorized them coming up. And there's not a lot of conversation about that. And I think that's bad because I think that's a lot more prevalent than we really talk about and express. And there really needs to be more space and I think a lot more investigation into how toxicity and how toxic mothers and how women running the household for quite some time, what are the downfalls of that? And again, I'm not saying every black mother is that. I'm sure there are black mothers out there who have beautiful relationships with their sons, their daughters, all of that. But there's not a lot of space, and I don't think there's really a lot of comfort acknowledging that there are also deeply toxic black mothers out there who terrorize their children, and that there are grown adults today who are still navigating the wounds of their mothers. And what does that mean? What does it look like? How does toxicity show up among black mothers? And how do they impact the sons and the daughters of those toxic mothers? I'm curious if any of y'all have thoughts on this.
I do. I got you, sis. And I'm gonna give you one more.
You go, girl.
That was a good cook up. The impact is you have a lot of docile men and a lot of angry ass black women. And the fucked up part is it's hard to hold the black women accountable because they couldn't hold their mothers accountable. Now they are the mothers, so they're supposed to get a pass. Remember, I played that video before when that brother broke down how there's a hierarchy in the black community, whereas older black women, like elderly, then black mothers, regardless of age. So right up under some frail old lady is black mothers across the board. I would really put black mothers ahead of older frail ladies because 9 times out of 10, they're mothers as well. So they've gotten away with a lot of dirty shit and nobody calls them out. They let it slide because that's still your mama.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid.
Start calling out the behavior. Start calling it out early. I would encourage the women to listen to your son. That boy ain't stupid. Yeah, I know he might be a little bit lazy, don't want to wash the dishes, but he's starting to see a fucking pattern that you on nigga number 3 this year.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
I've talked to several black women where that friction, that old friction between mother and daughter, where the mother will do for their sorry ass son is popping out babies left and right. This is why a lot of our sisters had this premise of black men. It's not just their relationships. Again, looking inside of their family, like I tell the men to look at the women in your family. They look at their sorry ass brother. They mama has always watched his kids for free. He ain't got to pay because he broke, don't got no job, been in the house forever, leaving from her house to go live with some chick. So the sister is watching the treatment of the brother. Then she has a kid, but she got to pay her mama to babysit. Or the mama is always bailing her brother out of jail. She's watched this motherfucker get in trouble since they was teenagers. And he always got a pass because he's the son husband. That's mama's man. Then the sister grows up, has a kid. Now she a struggling mom doing the best she can. And what the fuck does she do? Turn around and do the same goddamn thing. They complain about their mama, do the same behaviors, and then act surprised when we start calling out because now we finally have a microphone. We finally got cameras or social media, and brothers are giving a lot of pushback to a lot of the shit that we've held on to for years. It's so many secrets we're harboring as men for family members, friends, and a lot of them are just toxic ass mothers. Let me get to y'all comments. We're going to keep on cooking. BT says, breaking generational curses equals broken traditions.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
Brother Malika with it, he says, Kofa, for years I had issues with my mother and I struggled with wanting validation from her, but from therapy and focusing on myself, I learned she has her own personal issues that has nothing to do with me.
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
I've tried to encourage, appreciate that Malika, I've tried to encourage so many brothers, get that passport, go overseas, look at living overseas for a while. I'm really on that kick. Because again, the new American dream is to leave. So I'm gonna keep sprinkling that in there. Say what you want to about passport bros, but it's a lot of men that I'm sort of skipping steps with, because it's gonna be hard to get them to get a passport and think about living in another country when they ass won't move over to the next state because of their mama.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Shared that story with you before. Had a family member, young boy. He had pretty much his own ticket written to 2 D1 colleges to play ball in like the 10th grade. The women in the family started hitting him. You gonna leave your mama? You going that far? That's across the country. Why would you do that? Started planting them little seeds of doubt. Now he has criminal charges and 2 babies. Because he stayed his ass home. Again, you got to leave home to grow. He stayed his ass home and started getting in trouble, all because of that shame and blame. And nobody's supposed to question mama. Keep going with the comments. I appreciate that, Malika. I've seen your mama issues. I say all that to close out on Malika's last point. Your mama has issues that have nothing to do with you, but they will project that shit. You see, I believe Brother Malika's late 40s, maybe early 50s. Malika, let us know in the chat if you want to. But think about decades of trying to seek that validation from your mother, the person that birthed you. And so she gambled with her fucking life, and you still feel like you ain't good enough because of the things she used to say or do to you. Not around you, but to you, or say to you. And you start struggling with that as a man, and then you get out in the world, and guess who's the first person to tell you get over that shit? The black community. You get that from the men and the women. Because there's a lot of men out here harboring a lot of disdain for their mamas, but they take it out on the women. We talk first about men learning to manipulate women when they're little kids. Then he becomes that cockhound and just running through women left and right. And my mama walk on water, but it's a hidden anger for his mother, so he take it out on women. And the women don't realize it, because again, these niggas ain't shit. Then they turn around and start raising their son to stay in the house. Used to volunteer, told y'all that before. It's so many women that used to come through that program. Just, he don't do nothing. If the boys wasn't in the streets, majority of them, the other half of them, would just sit in the house playing video games. You think that's okay because he's in a safe environment, never plays sports, doesn't interact with other boys well, doesn't interact with grown men well at all because of that hovering, devouring mother. And we call that love, because the streets of Atlanta, Philadelphia, Houston, wherever the fuck, they're so dangerous. I just want to know my baby safe, and she'll play that fucking role until the day she gets tired of that shit when he pushing 30 and now he need to get out there and get a job, but you've been taking care of everything for him. So you done castrated this boy and about to throw him out into the world. Nobody really likes to talk about it. That's why I want to talk about it tonight. These good mamas. Let's keep on going. Sister Felicia in the building. What's going on, sis?
You go, girl!
She says, good evening, Kofa, Mod Squad, and chat. I appreciate you being in here. Moving Silent says, I noticed a lot of manipulation tactics with my mother. Cut her off in 2019. You described my late brother. Damn.
But wait, it gets worse.
They'll do it with boys too. Sometimes it's the baby of the family to get all the passes. Sometimes it's the oldest firstborn to get all the passes, and the second, middle child, or kids thereafter looking for all this attention. The oldest one ends up being a secondary parent. Again, he the man of the house. So now he got to raise his brothers and sisters. She has to raise her brothers and sisters. Got family members like that. Help raise their brothers and sisters. As soon as they hit adulthood, I ain't having no kids. I done already been a parent. Especially if there's a pretty good 6-7 year gap in between the age groups, and that oldest one had to raise the boys and the girls behind them, and they ain't have no kids. And then as women, they'll shame those girls. Like, I need help. You know I need help. I do for you all the time. Had one, again, family member tell the girl told the mama, I ain't had these kids.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
She had reached her limit by the time she had got to fucking high school. To this day, she don't have any children. She doesn't want any. She's already been a mama. Nobody likes to talk about this because mama doing what she gotta do. Let's keep on going. I hate that move in silence, bro. Hate you had to cut your mama off, but I'm glad you were able to do it because I know so many brothers that can't. Chelonia says, same here, family. Malika McBain, me and mom's working through our mess presently. I hope y'all able to overcome all that, bro. Chelonia is back at it with the $5 super chat. He says, awesome topic, brother. I appreciate the other 5 spot. I'm not going to hit you with a sound bite. BT in here. Let's see if he still like this one.
I'ma just bless her. I chew. Baby girl, you with the winners. How could you lose? Like her too. Many different flavors. How can I choose?
You running in the wrong direction, ma.
That shit will never not be funny. I appreciate you, Shalonas, for the 5 spot. Sister Felicia says, thank you, chat, for sharing your stories about your mothers and how you've pushed through. Indeed. Thank y'all, man. Y'all don't have to share these stories. That's a great point, Felicia. I'm glad you said this. Y'all don't have to share these stories, bro. Not with me, not another YouTuber on social media, with anybody. Because again, this is a taboo and off limits and damn near forbidden topic. I believe a lot of brothers and sisters have gotten to the point where they're like, fuck it. Now we accept it from the women because, you know, I had to learn stuff as a woman on my own and then we'll hear them. But when brothers talking, it's, oh, your daddy failed you. He wasn't in your life. That's still your mama though. That's your queen. You supposed to protect. Your mama is not your motherfucking queen, bro. She your mama. Your queen is a woman that's supposed to be on your side. Your mama ain't your queen, dog. Sorry. But again, I'm an outlier. I sound crazy as hell. Kofa hates women. You must have issues with your mama. Me and my mama done had to have our discussions. Me and my mama like this. But we done had to have some discussion, especially as of late. Because there's certain things where mothers still see you as a boy. I had to tell my mom one time, I'm your son. I ain't nobody's child.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
And that's real talk. You're a grown man. Stand on that shit, bro. Be able to have these conversations with your mama. If you can't, you might have to move in silence and cut her off. I hate that that's your mama. Make sure she take, especially if it's not something of like physical or sexual abuse, make sure she taken care of if you can. If that time comes and she transition, you do what you can, but don't you stress yourself out. You'll be stressing yourself out of this shit. Your ass will be in the fucking ground and your mama still be out here causing havoc. Let's keep on going. Appreciate that reminder, Felicia. Yes, thank y'all, brothers. Brother Alexander in the building. Salute to you, good brother. Appreciate you being in here. Chelonia said, man, I left at 20. Had to get up out of there. Brother Malika says, for generations and the past 60 years, black women in the gynocracy created these male Frankenstein monsters they hate, maintain, and half-ass raised who struggle to be and don't know how to be men.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
You see this shit all the time, bro. The same women in these spaces wanting to argue, well, y'all mamas fucked y'all up. Y'all mamas did this. I think, what's her girl named Randy Rosario on tonight's conversation today. Y'all don't want to acknowledge that y'all mamas fucked y'all up. Y'all the fucked up mamas now, sis.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
I don't know why that's so hard to see, but it goes back to speaking for the red pill, manosphere, men-centric content space. We were fucking right.
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
This has nothing to do with hating women. We were fucking right. We see the behaviors, and now we're at the point where we're calling out. It has nothing to do with hating women. It is the truth, and it's the uncomfortable truth. That's why so many, and watch how women, a lot of women, not y'all in the space, you know, the Growth Talk fam, got some good sisters over here. But watch how these women push back and get angry immediately for the fact that you asked a question.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
So what happened in your childhood between your, oh, that's different though. With you and your mama, it's different. Now you're the mother doing that shit. And you don't want to take accountability for what you may or may not be doing to harm your children. But that's the space we're in. But that is a fact, Malika. Malika says he's 53. All right, good brother. Felicia says, I too have a mother wound, but through coaching and therapy, I am at a much happier place. I'm glad to hear that, sis. Alexander says, hit the like button. Yes, if y'all coming in, stopping in for a quick second, salute to all my new subs, trying to grow the channel. I'm going to keep pushing, but for new subs, maybe checking me out for the first time, thank y'all for being in here. Rule number 1, take your shoes off when you come in the house. Hit the like button. The like button is free. It helps push it to the algorithm, get more of these real conversations going. We can go back and forth with, what if you come home and you couch your wife in bed with your cousin and old girl from work that you said that you weren't trying to hit. So the girl at work got mad and then she circled back around and lied and told your wife y'all were sleeping together. So your wife thought she was getting a get back. What would you do, brother?
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
So we're going to try to slowly start moving away from some of these silly ass topics. So hit the like button. Push this type of content. Don't complain about the content you seeing when you doom scrolling. And you're not trying to help the channel grow just by simply doing something free and hitting the like button. Cash App, PayPal up there. Been in the YouTube streets long enough. You know how to use Super Chat, Super Stickers. Or you can go to growthtalk.podcast.com. Get yourself a hoodie, a t-shirt, or a journal. Let's keep on going. Appreciate that, Alexander. Where we at? BT says it is a vicious cycle indeed. Alexander says facts. Moving Silent says was the man of the house at A.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
That is wild. I know BT's laughing at that donations clip. Moving Silent says, ever try to get answers? I never try to get answers, but my mama hides behind Jesus. Oh, ever try to get answers, but mama hides behind Jesus? Got something for that too, bro.
But wait, it gets worse.
Alexander says 100. Moving Silent says, dumbass Randy. Indeed. Moving Silent says, I'm 48. Y'all see, brothers are really getting comfortable in this space in their 40s and 50s to start telling their stories. That means for at least 3 decades, roughly 4 or more, we've been harboring this stuff, holding on to it, trying to fix ourselves. That's like trying to fix a fence post that isn't broken. All you're doing is just hammering nails into it. There's nothing wrong with the fence post. Not saying you're perfect, but it's certain things you were trying to fix about yourself as a man that came from your mom, and nothing was wrong with you internally or generally. That shit came from your mama, but because of our culture, you couldn't even fucking recognize that shit.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
You thought something was wrong with you. And in the process of trying to fix you, you had to fix what you fucked up before from trying to fix you when nothing was wrong. I know that sounds crazy. Again, fence posts. Some fence post leans and you got to hammer them back in place. Cool, got it. Your fence post, nothing was wrong with. You were just taking a hammer to it and beating yourself up. And wasn't nothing wrong in the first damn place. You put a lot of nails in yourself, bro. Now you got to go back in, pull them nails out, or maybe even replace the fence post that you tore up that nothing was wrong with in the first fucking place. That'll preach.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
I'm not a psychologist, and I don't play one on YouTube. I'm just a guy with a microphone and a camera that cares. Let's keep on going. Where we at? Brother Malika says, gynocratic black American mothers think, believe, demand, and feel entitled to their grown son's attention, resources, and covering, which competes with his wife or the son's future relationships with women. All the time, bro. They'll inject themselves in these relationships like they're the side chick. It's a reason why some brothers grew up without fathers, because they mama walking that spirit of side chick. As RBN, Brother TJ through the Fire podcast always says, your mama's a hoe. Brothers have a hard time admitting that shit. It's a reason why you grew up without a father. If now your mama 50, 60, 70 years old, still ain't got no motherfucking man. Probably was your mama the whole time, bro.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Let's keep on going. I appreciate that. Tongue twisted. BT, he said, support code for merch. Appreciate you dropping the link, bro. Moving Silence says, keep cooking, y'all. I'm at my second job. All good, brother. Have a good shift. Get you something to eat. Get you some rest after work. But go knock it out. Get that bread. Alexander with the 100. Indeed. We're going to keep on rolling. Told y'all I wasn't going to be on here long. Just had to, acknowledge y'all comments and get to rolling on that. Thank y'all. Y'all help me get my thoughts out too, because a lot of this shit be swirling around in my head. And if I don't have time to take the notes, most of my lives have been fucking freestyle. So when y'all hearing these stories, they're coming for real. Only thing missing is a cigar in my hand. These are coming from some real stories, but let's keep on cooking to the next clip. I wanted to lay that foundation with the older psychologist lady talking about the devouring mother, Sister G.R.O.W.T.H, just asking general questions. What does that look like? Now it's time to get into what does it look like?
But wait, it gets worse.
Owned us. And I remember she called me in the room and she said, you got hair down there? I was like, what?
Hair down there?
She
said,
yeah.
Pubic hair?
Yeah. She said, you have hair down there. I said, down where? What are you talking about? There. And she points at my private. I'm like, yeah, I guess. And she said, pull it down. Let me see. Pull your pants down. What? Pull your pants down. Let me see. Man, I'll never forget it. Pull them down. I'm looking out the window. I'm just like trying to be somewhere, anywhere other than here. But it was that extreme religious control vibe where it was like, I control you.
Bring that back on me. Religious mother, I control you. I'm your mama. You're going to do what I say. And I need to know if you, like the old folks used to say down here in the South, if you smelling yourself. Do you have hair down there? Pull your pants down and let me see. Like her over hovering as a mother was going to stop his puberty. Told BT about this clip. First thing he said, the boys start getting hair up under their arms too. She couldn't check up under his arms. Why his pants? And if you listen to Terry Crews, this is what I was talking about in answering G.R.O.W.T.H's question. What does it look like? Terry Crews is this big hulk of a brother. Very soft-spoken, very easygoing, very playful. We've seen in his roles on TV, but you hear right there, it's damn near like, again, I told y'all, where the abuse happens, at that age, that person tends to either revert back to or stay at. And right there, he damn near reverted back to. We're going to play it again, matter of fact. I want you to just, this time around, I just want you to listen to how he's telling it. He's damn near reliving it. And he's remembering, I remember looking out the window. He couldn't even look at his mama. He knew that shit wasn't right. But how dare I go against my mother being raised in this, having this religious background. I'm looking out the window, trying to imagine myself somewhere other than where I was standing right there with my pants around my ankles in front of my mother.
My mother felt like she owned us. And I remember she called me in the room and she said, you got hair down there? I was like, what?
Hair down there?
She said, yeah.
Pubic hair?
Yeah. She said, you have hair down there. I said, down where? What are you talking about? There. And she points at my private. I'm like, yeah, I guess. And she said, pull it down. Let me see. Pull your pants down. What? Pull your pants down. Let me see. Man, I'll never forget it. Pull them down. I'm looking out the window. I'm just like trying to be somewhere, anywhere other than here. But it was that extreme religious control vibe where it was like, I control you.
Bring it back on me. Not a big YouTuber. I know the brother ain't gonna see this. I want to personally apologize to Terry Crews for that, because if y'all remember a couple years ago, Terry Crews was talking about how he was at some party and this white executive, it was during the whole Me Too movement thing, and everybody kind of dismissed it because he was a man. I dismissed it because he was a big man, and like, man, I would have laid that cracker out. But the white dude in the middle of the party grabs his junk, grabs his dick. And he's like, he froze and he didn't do anything. And when he was telling this interview, I forgot about where he was telling the interview at, but when he was telling it, like the internet caught on fire. Like, man, that's crazy as hell. That big ass nigga, I would have knocked that crack out. And I was one of them. But hearing this part of the story now, I believe more than likely in that moment, he reverted back to some shit that happened in his childhood with his mother from either whether it was this incident or something else. He reverted back to an age where he was too small to do or say anything to protect himself. And I think he froze in that moment. So him sharing that story out loud, brother, thank you. I apologize because I had questions like, man, why in the fuck didn't he hit him? And this goes to show, and he said it. He said, I'm the big black guy. I can't react with anger. I'm going to jail. My career is over with. This is how I feed my family. All this stuff is running through my head. I'm the big black guy. Everybody forgets that. So if I hit him, I'm just angry. And I lose everything. Because that's the way it's going to get spun. This is one of those Me Too moments too. Where we're talking about these toxic ass good mamas. So again, I apologize to that brother for my thought processes at the time. I hope he's doing well now. I mean, we always thought he was doing well, but hearing this story and him reverting back to little Terry, looking out the window, wanting to imagine himself being somewhere else, and you hear the same thing from women. This man was on top of me. I just tried to go somewhere else in my mind. But again, because he's the big black guy, we won't accept it.
But wait, it gets worse.
Let me get to y'all comments real quick. BT says, whoa, that sounds like slave syndrome. Jeez, indeed. Brother Malika says, let's face the reality. Our mothers are like most black women in our community. Women who can go get a man to have sex, but can't keep a man and don't need a man until they want/need a man. Indeed.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Alexander says, wow. Y'all got to remember, when we looking at these adult men, they were babies at once. They were somebody's child at once. They were small at once. How many cats did you grow up with that was always the frail kid, or maybe he was the husky kid, but then y'all hit high school and they hit a fucking growth spurt and now this motherfucker's a juggernaut. But he's always real fucking playful. He's still in his mind and his emotions and feelings. He's still a little boy. He just has this hulking figure. You never know what people go through, bro. BT says, I was one of them who did not understand why Terry Crews did not protect himself in that situation. How you broke that down makes sense. Again, I got all this power, but if I hit him, I'm the big, angry black guy. And this is how I feed my family. Plus, I believe he reverted back to some shit that happened in his childhood. Emperor says, indeed, I've been trying to tell black men this about their mama when I get on panels since 2021.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
Notice how he wrote that. I've been trying. Probably to no avail for most men, most people in general in the black community. I've been trying to tell black men about their mothers since 2021. For 4 years, this brother been trying on different panels. And I know if you're having a conversation on the interwebs for the world to see on a panel, I know you're having this conversation offline as well. Let us know how that's going. Let's keep on rolling, y'all. Want to give that foundational piece of what it looks like for an older male. Here we go again. Control. Toxic control. This is the comedian Arnez J. And this is another sad ass story where mama got all the fucking power. So we go from a verbal, visual, physical abuse to this.
Talk to dad. And my aunt said, oh, you mean the man that raised you? What? What?
Oh, let me bring it back a little bit.
I said, auntie, I'm getting ready to go talk to dad. And my aunt said, oh, you mean the man that raised you? What? What? Can you imagine as a grown-up, you hearing that?
Yeah.
For the first time? I'm like, what?
That wasn't your, she go,
To talk to your mama. My world is, now you don't got my world just got blew up. I already don't look like nobody in the family. Then you tell me the man that raised me. I go to my mama and I said, Mama, I need to ask you a question before I leave. Please be honest with me. I said, Mama, is daddy my real daddy? Tell you what she did. Boy, and walked off. That's not an answer.
It wasn't the answer you wanted to hear, but you got the answer.
That, I mean, like, Boy, going with that. I mean, that's not an answer. Yay or nay? Yes or no is the answer.
Did you ask her again? Did you ever ask her again?
No.
That was it.
Because I knew she wasn't going to answer it.
But did you know deep down? Did you know?
No, I didn't. That's the problem.
Pause right there. Two women again. I keep telling y'all, grandmama, mama, auntie. This situation, mama and auntie. He go to his auntie. Auntie, I'm getting ready to go overseas and see daddy. You mean the man that raised you? Imagine that conversation just out of the blue. The man that raised you? The fuck you talking about? Go ask your mama. How the fuck do you stick a needle in somebody's balloon, tell them to clean that shit up, and go take it to their damn mama? Now, I, for one, I don't like lies. I don't like these family secrets. But they've kept this shit for his whole life, so I'm glad it came out. It's fucked up it came out. Then he goes to his mother, asks her, Mama, is daddy my real daddy? Boy, he said she walked off. The lack of accountability. We maybe beat this word to the ground, overused it. The lack of accountability. Boy, go on. And walks the fuck away from her son, which she still views as her child. Let it keep on running.
You have to realize, even as adults, a lot of times we don't get closure on things that mess with us when we were a child or that have been through our life.
Right.
And me being a loner like I was and like I still am in somewhat, but I have a great family, so I'm not alone. I have a great partner, my wife.
I guarantee you, I'm gonna bring it back on me. I guarantee you, he picked the opposite of his mother.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
He couldn't even express how much he loved his wife. He said, you know what? I'm not alone because I got a great family. My wife had to take a pause. I guarantee you he chose the opposite of his mother, especially if he got married after that situation where he's asking his mother, is the man that raised me, is daddy my real daddy? I met this brother. I've actually worked with this brother. Shout out to me. I've actually worked with R.N.S.J. This is how I came to G.R.O.W.T.H. Give y'all a little quick synopsis. When I came back from overseas in the military, I had like a 30-day window before I had to go back to work. So it was this casting call for a male talk show, a male podcast. It was like going to be a male version of The View. We were going to talk about sports and everything. Just, it was called The Male Perspective. So I had to go audition a couple of times. I made the fucking cast. I'm a goddamn nobody coming off the street, but obviously I must be good at this shit, being transparent as I am and looking at things a little bit different. I made the fucking cast. So after making the cast, it's me, it was Young Jock at the time, R.N.S.J., another young white dude, shout out to Ethan, haven't seen him in a minute, and then I cannot remember this other brother's name. He was kind of like the guide or the host. He used to play for the Falcons. So it was like 5 of us on stage. Did a pilot episode, the whole thing. It just didn't get picked up. So I've met this brother, and the energy that he has, I know how you see him on stage as a comedian. That is a solid black man, bro. R.N.S.J. is a real one. R.N.S.J. is a solid ass brother, dog. Cool as a fan. I mean, he get his jokes off and stuff, but he's a professional comedian. But he is also a professional black man.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
So salute to that brother for sharing his story on Club Shay Shay. Shout out to Shannon Sharp as well. But you heard what he said. I'm going to my mama hat in hand. Mama, I gotta ask you something, and I need you to tell me the truth. And she just skirted past it. We saw the episode with Kirk Franklin and his mama. She lied to him his entire life. His daddy stayed around the corner. The damage that our women do comes from the control that we give them. Say it one more time. The damage that our women, black folks, I know it's probably in the other communities as well, but black folks, the damage our women do, it comes from the control that we give them. Again, as a little boy, you have no say, but the preacher telling you, that's still your mama. Your daddy telling you, that's still your mama. Community at large, that's still your mama. Favorite brother or sister, that's still mama though. You can't be wrong, and you can't, if you can't be right, if you can't be right, that means mama can't be wrong. That means if she can't be wrong, she can't be held accountable. Even when you go to her asking for an honest answer, she gets to brush you off because of the community that we've structured. This gynocracy we have structured in the black community, boy, gone. And able to just walk the fuck away. Ain't gotta acknowledge shit. Fuck accountability. She don't even gotta acknowledge it.
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
BT, I appreciate that with the 1422. I know you're getting ready for your show. Let me go ahead and hit you with the, let me see. He says, I'm about to get ready for my live. This is from the joint account. Salute Kofa for this topic. If you're going to do a drop of this super, you know what I want to see. I got you, bro, before you roll up out. Stay there real quick. Bam.
I'ma just bless her. I chew. Baby girl, you with the winners. How could you lose? Like her too. Many different flavors. How can I choose?
You running in the wrong direction, ma.
Back on me, BT. Salute to you for a good show, brother. We'll be over there in a second. Y'all make sure when we wrap up here, go over and check out Broker Traditions. He's getting ready to go live at 8:30 Eastern. Or open up another tab. Go ahead and lock in with him. Mute one of us. Let's keep counting these watch hours, even though we both monetize, but keep counting the watch hours. Make sure y'all smash the like button. Let's keep on going. Let me get to y'all comments. And BT says, yep, just like Kirk Franklin. BT says she still see him as a boy. Indeed. Let me see. Malika says, one thing we don't talk about in the black community is black women molesting black boys because we men are seen as disposable and expendable, and black women don't get any retribution.
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
Aaron J says, nah, Terry don't get a pass for that. I'm sorry. Have to disagree with you on that one, Aaron. That's just me. Those are my thoughts. Again, because it's the same trope and trait that he the big dude. He should have laid that dude out when none of y'all motherfuckers going to donate to do shit to feed his goddamn family if he get blackballed. The fact that the brother even came out and said that, knowing the hate that he was going to get back, I got to give him a pass and I got to give him respect for that. I don't like it myself. I wish he would have whooped that dude ass. Then maybe some of the women would have felt comfortable because I don't know if it was Weinstein or whoever the fuck. But then maybe some of the women would have came out a little bit earlier. But we don't hold these people accountable. That's the shit that pisses me off. And everybody says, Kofa, well, you're victim blaming. No, I'm not victim blaming. But if you went through something, I can't imagine that hurt. I'm not going to pretend that I know that hurt. But I've worked with people who've done that. And they are staunch like, I want to get this motherfucker because I don't want anybody else to go through it. And then there's some people that lock up. And then as one person comes out, then more starts coming out. Then you find out, all it takes is finding out that one person in that bunch exaggerated or lied, and it dismisses what actually happened to people that it happened to. So when it really goes on, nobody says anything, nobody does anything, it continues. So the fact that he said it, I'm glad he said it. I wish he would have fought that man too, but I got to give him a pass because I don't have enough money to support his family. And this come down to a dollar sign. We can be, let's talk real. When nobody gonna donate to the Terry Crews Fund to feed his family, he could have did all the damn cash, dropped his Cash App, did all the fundraisers, the GoFundMe's and all that. Everybody would have, that shit would have been bare bones dry, because he a celebrity. Again, coming back to the way we enamored with these superstars. But when he was just talking, when Arnez J was just talking, they reverted back to that point where it happened. Even though Arnez was an adult, he still went back to that vulnerable ass moment of, what the fuck? Having no power. And this is what we talk about when black men are emasculated. I know people online put that, man, can't no woman emasculate me, this, until it's your motherfucking mama. Then you turn into a little boy all of a sudden. Until it's your goddamn wife. Then you turn into a bitch all of a sudden. Because a lot of niggas talk this manhood shit online. But again, in order to get online, they got to ask their wife, can he get his nuts back out of her fucking purse?
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
We see this shit all the time, bro. We got to start giving brothers grace. I know I went on a little bit of tangent. Let me keep going. Malika says that's a damn shame. That's proof of no accountability and no respect for black men. She don't even respect him as her son or her man, or as a man. But we see this all the time. That's still your mama. I'm still your fucking son. But they get to talk to us crazy, chip away at who we are, because it starts young when you don't know any better. So now when you're starting to learn, now you're questioning what you're learning because it's the total fucking opposite. I do not get how people don't see this shit. We're going to keep on going. Malika says, one thing about family secrets is that most of the black women keep them under lock and key like Fort Knox, but will deny and aren't accountable for keeping the lies and secrets hidden for decades. And you know who I blame for the creepy uncle coming around? Grandma.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
We've heard these stories of women coming out with deathbed confessions as they get older, whether it's auntie, whether it's mama, or like Kurt Franklin's mom, auntie finally broke down the table. Sis, just tell them the truth. Just tell, because she been holding that shit, tearing her insides up, stress, because she been holding on to her fucking sister's lies. The majority of these fucked up family secrets, now the rest of the men in the family would have beat somebody's ass, especially another man had touched on these babies. The rest of the men in the family would have beat his ass. You know who told everybody to calm the fuck down if they found out? Big mama. Guess who kept the goddamn secret? Big mama, auntie, mama. Do you think the children are more comfortable telling somebody they're around, the mother or a female in the family, or telling one of the men in the family? A lot of times, unfortunately, they're more comfortable telling the women in the family. Because even though you're the man, you're the protector, they've seen your ass cower when mama, grandmama, auntie, big sis start raising their goddamn voice. And you just say, fuck it. And you go outside and sit on the porch. Or you go in the back and watch TV. Or you get your shoes on and go kick it with your boy because you don't want to be around that bitch. So now to the children, it looks like she has the power. So they tell her she either believes it or don't, does something or doesn't. But we see so many times where the children were molested, especially the girls, and their mothers knew. That's where a lot of the drama comes in. Mama knew about it and didn't do a goddamn thing.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease!
If that bitch didn't participate.
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
But Kofa hates women, right? Great observation, Malika. I appreciate that, good brother. Sister Chelsea in the building. She says, late, I'll have to do a rewatch to catch up with the rest. All good, sis.
You go, girl!
Malika says facts. No News says facts. Indeed. I appreciate y'all being in here. Let's keep on cooking. Let's get to the next video. Again, I wanted to lay that foundation of the question of this is what it looks like. The question of what does it turn into with Terry Crews and Arnez J. Now I want you to see in real time, this day and age, how this shit starts. These are quick videos, and then we gonna roll out. I wanted to hit this motherfucker and quit it. Just get it going. Probably gonna circle back around to this one too, because there's some topics I'm gonna have to fucking repeat. But let's keep on going. I'm gonna pause it real quick.
So you went back in there and paid for a candy that shit.
Bring it back some. I'm gonna read what's on the screen. Black woman appalled by the concept of integrity. When your child walked out the store with candy she didn't pay for because he didn't realize she had grabbed it, so he went back in to pay for it. Listen to this shit, y'all.
So you went back in there and paid for a candy that she had already walked out the store with.
Yeah, she stole it.
Why would you do that? I would never do something like that. I would just leave.
It's called integrity.
It's called integrity.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Even on a baseline childlike level, mama's okay with her stealing. Until the day that mama is at work, she grows up in the store with her little friends in the mall and takes some shit. Then mama got to get the call to come off of work, and then mama cutting the food because them folks called me at my job. We're going to run that back one more time.
So you went back in there and paid for a candy that she had already walked out the store with?
Yeah, she stopped.
Why would you do that? I would never do something like that. I would just leave.
It's called integrity.
And mama looking at this man like he fucking crazy. I do not think this shit is a skit. We gonna keep on rolling.
But wait, it gets worse.
This one, I title Happy Abuse. This is where the mothers think they're their daughter's friends.
I want the truth.
These are so cute.
Don't put the motherfucking things in my head.
What?
Don't put these motherfucking things in my head.
Wow. These is cute kiwis.
No, they fucking not. If I'm a kid kiwi and y'all seen all them comments and y'all still don't got an inch pitch, Merry Christmas, boy-headed hoes.
You go outside, listen, because you a little bit too young for this hairstyle, and I'm not raising no hoes.
Hoes? Hold on, I ain't no hoe. I'm trying to make some money off these bows. On my soul, the baddest out here, yes. You see these bows, step in.
You talking Zaza?
Yeah, I'm talking about Zazas that loud. Yeah, if you trying to look like the bows, come to the hard.
Hold on, somebody trying to run off with a bow.
We listen and we judge mama.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
One more.
Y'all, I thought I was cute. I started to record, and my daughter called me ugly. Watch till the end.
Ugly.
Watch your motherfucking mouth. Get the fuck out of my goddamn room. Your little grown motherfucking ass. Now you fucking ugly.
Bring the shit back on me. That's how it starts. I line that shit up like that for a reason. Mama questioning fucking integrity. What I call happy abuse, where the kid is enjoying themselves, acting grown and shit like that. Now when them girls start fucking, but I ain't supposed to mention that because I'm a 43-year-old man. I shouldn't be thinking about kids fucking, but your mama sending them out there. We know how this shit goes. So when she started fucking in middle school, we gonna blame some nasty boy. We're gonna blame some older boy. Her daddy wasn't in her life. But we listen and we judge mama. Cause they on some bullshit. Then it goes to this woman putting hands on her child cause she wanna thought it up for the ground. And like she said, I started recording. What the fuck have I repeated to y'all? They either know they're being recorded or they hit the record button themselves.
Knocks down another three ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
But Kofa hates women, right? Let me get to y'all comments. Let me see. Look, Malika says, what the absolute fuck? Chelsea says, wanting the child to learn theft, that's a prime example of why kids need their fathers.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
Malika says, he needs to leave that trifling bitch.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
Strags have no integrity. Indeed, brother Malika. What's going on, Jose? Glad to see you in the building, bro. Sister Chelsea says, I was thinking the same. Deaf, not a skit. She genuinely sounded like she would leave after the child stealing.
Got it! Hotter than fish grease.
No News says, Sexy Red Jr. in the making.
No.
That's crazy, bro. You right on time with that one. And they think it's cute. The makeup, the hair, the talk, the hand gestures, the... Malika says, what the hell? Brother Jose says, what a horrible example.
Knocks down another 3-ball. This guy is hotter than fish grease here.
No News says this is exactly why brothers are over the fence. Indeed. No News says, No News back here, he says that last lady had a retractable neck. Boy, y'all. Like it says, damn disgusting, creating the future demons for the next generation. Indeed, bro. Brother Malika says the mother is ugly mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
No News says need that he's on fire soundbite from NBA Jam. I'll go ahead and get that one too, bro. One last video, then we out. I forgot, what did I call this one? Where is that at?
Yo, look at this real quick, right? Pay close attention.
This brother does such a great job breaking this shit down. I know y'all can hear me. Hold on, let me. Lost my camera. Bam. This shit is, again, impeccably sad.
But wait, it gets worse.
So we just gonna let this run. This shit might demonetize the stream. It got money. I mean, it got music. Demonetization money. It has music in it, but it needed to be said.
Too.
How your whole block crack, cause the wheels in the sky. Now the ops want me dead, so I tell them come try. But I slide first, all I hear is hey, that's how I'm coming, bitch. Like a track star, I'm on my block, really running shit. I do this shit in real life, but this shit is not a skit. Remember putting tape up on my line just to make it fit. I remember sliding every day, I wasn't at the park. I ain't had no lighter, but I really had to make it spark. Keep that eye on me, like my real name was Tupac. Spark, I'm trying to leave a mark, nigga.
A whole verse talking about unaliving somebody, murdered, taking somebody's life, right? Little girl know the verse word for word. But besides all that, like, fuck that she know the verse word for word. Little kids learn whatever you put in front of them. They sponges. I'm paying attention to her body language. Like, that demon time phrase is more than just a phrase. That shit is an energy and a frequency. And pay attention to her energy. Look at her eyes. Look at everything about her, right? That shit got a hold of her. That frequency got a hold of her. And this is what I tell people. Music is a frequency. And she tapped all the way into that frequency. And the person that's sitting next to her that's supposed to love her and care for her and be looking out for her, she's just trying to impress them. She's trying to make them happy. You could tell she looking out the corner of her eye. She thinks she's doing the right thing by doing what she's doing. Not knowing that the person that's supposed to be loving her and caring for her is leading her down a road of destruction. Same way from generation to generation, we just keep passing down this dumbass culture to every generation, and then we'll blame everybody else of why we so fucked up. Nah, we fucking our own selves up. And the sad thing is, drill culture, they don't value life anymore. They don't have no value for life. That's why they think calling you old is disrespect. They think that's disrespect because they don't have no aspirations of getting old. It's like they say you breed something worse than you. We just keep breeding something worse and worse and worse by keep passing down this degenerate ass culture shit that we be doing.
Ghetto Gospel.
Shout out to Ghetto Gospel.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Same thing the brother said I told y'all earlier. Instead of breaking generational curses, instead of broken traditions, we're passing the baton. Think it's cute, think it's funny. Until she take her ass to school and start fighting. Until somebody get their ass whooped, now they want to bring a knife or a gun to school, or they want to jump somebody and somebody's child don't make it home. Until one of them other little fast-raised girls get out here and start twerking and fucking. Because she thinks she grown anyway. It's the same thing with the same premise, same mindset, same plantation-ass thought processes. Where you got the oldest one raising the younger kids. They don't want kids anymore because they've already been grown. When you start over-sexualizing these girls and putting makeup and all that shit and got them twirling and popping and all that other shit, you can't be surprised when some old cat pull up at the fucking high school or the goddamn middle school, or she starts sneaking out, or she want to fuck with this little boy because he saw what type of girl you done raised, so now he got to go sell dope to get a little bit of bread to impress her. And the cycle keeps going. And again, having mentored, bro, I done seen this shit. I done seen it. Not just in the hood culture. I done seen it in us suburban blacks that think we done made it out. Because of the fucking culture. Because you're not allowed to question mama. But keep on doing the same shit. We gonna see what results we getting. My black ass is taking my son away from these little thoughts and training. And we taking our ass over to Thailand or Colombia, somewhere. I'm gonna get some culture in my son. Because this shit ain't it. And as soon as somebody else starts calling it out about it, then we want to deny and say that's not part of black culture. We're kings and queens and keep fucking around. Because that's not how we're conducting ourselves. And why? Because we're gynocratic. The black community, like others, are a matriarchy. But we have lit this bitch on fire where our people can do no fucking wrong. In particular, these good mamas. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up tonight. I appreciate y'all being in here. Once again, this has been Growth Talk Entertainment, where growth stands for gentlemen reaching our wealth through healing. This is where we help men find a positive fuck it. I have been your humble host, Kofa, K-O-F-A, not coffee, not kufu, not Kofi, or any variation thereof. Kofa rhymes with sofa. Easy to say, easy to spell, and I am, AKA, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. I'm gonna leave y'all with it tonight. We'll probably be back later on this week, still finessing the channel, seeing what I want to do with it. But I'm gonna leave y'all like I always leave you. I love you. Ain't shit you can do about it. You matter. You're not crazy. Make better choices. Peace. Make sure y'all slide over and support BT. Let's roll up out.